reviewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto channel. So I got this 2008 Chevrolet Malibu Classic behind us. It's the LT, so it's the 3.5 V6. The engine light's on, and we need to fix it because it's here for an inspection. Yeah, seriously. You're interrupting our video.
I'm chewing. Why?
Everybody chews. Girls poop, they chew, they do all the things that
I don't
we
want
do.
to be video recorded doing those things.
Yeah, probably not. That would be awkward.
Yeah. Got a phone call here.
Yeah, we heard it ringing, interrupting our video. Alright.
Business.
Alright. Well, we can see here that we've got a P0463 for fuel level sensor circuit high. And I've got to admit, I don't ever recall seeing these turn an engine light on in a GM. The majority of GMs out there, the fuel gauge does not work, just like this car here. So that's pretty interesting. But obviously that's the only code we have. Current history, malfunction indicator light required. So maybe they've set or changed their code setting criteria. I'm not sure, but let's check it out. So they do have a service bulletin on these cars for this wiring harness right here. So here, wow, my head. Orient you, we got the fuel tank. You know, there's the left rear tire. There's your fuel tank. There's your vapor canister. And then they have this harness right here that goes up into the body. And evidently it has a tendency to rub through on the parking brake cable here. And you can see somebody's already been here, or at least I assume so, because this has big wads of what appears to be duct tape or Gorilla tape of some sort. I doubt that's factory. The service bulletin says, you know, repair the harness and then lightly zip tie it to the brake cable. So we may have an issue in there. I went ahead and I pulled up some data here just to have a look at. Our fuel level sensor is at 5 volts, so that would go along with the high voltage code, so that's essentially open circuit. Naturally, the fuel level reads at 0%. Quick and dirty, we can give her a couple whacks up here on the tank and see what kind of voltage change we have. Looks like we had a little blip there. Let me set you guys up. And that'll be just a quick indicator, you know, if the wire's hooked up or not. But man, I hope that's not true. I hope it's not full. Anyhow, we're obviously getting some change there of some sort. So it's unlikely we have a broken wire in that harness, but we're still gonna just check this fuel level sensor real quick. See if we can't get this this lock undone out of this connector. It'd be nice if it was a broken wire. I should probably call the customer and ask them when they got gas last, in case we do have to drop this tank. I guess that would be nice to know. Look at that. But being that we bang on the tank and, you know, we do get some fluctuation of reading. I don't see any crusties here. So on a GM, the majority of the time, the fuel sending unit wire is the purple one. This does have a purple one. And usually the ground there is either the black or black with white. Let me get us a diagram. So let's see, we'll pop back out of here for a minute. We'll see if they got a wiring diagram right here for us. I'm pretty sure it's the purple wire anyways, but we don't want to take any wild guesses and get on a wild goose chase because we're too lazy to look. We'll get the Vantage plugged in here while we're waiting for this. Oh, what do we want? Maybe instrument panel will probably be the fastest way to get to what we need. Look at the instrument cluster. That likely shows the fuel level sensor. much here. Fuel pump. Oh, fuel pump and sender. Yeah, that's a picture of a fuel level sensor. Yeah, look at that. Good guess. Purple and black with white. Of course, it doesn't have any, it's not an OEM wire diagram, so we don't have our connector numbers here. So I don't know why it doesn't show the connector, but let's see what we have up here. The more you use OEM wire diagrams, the more you hate them aftermarket color ones. Especially when they don't show, you know, connectors and stuff on them. The color wire diagrams here on that Bosch are the same as the ones on Mitchell, the same as the ones on Identifix. Alright, so we do have a purple. I'm going to pull tape off that other side in black with white. So we're going to set our meter up here. Get her set up on auto. So we're just going to check the resistance of this fuel level sensor. I don't really care what the values are currently. Usually they're somewhere between, you know, 0 and 300. Somewhere's around there, but I'm expecting that it's just going to be open anyways. In which case we can see that it is. Let me just test my meter leads here. Alright, meter leads are good. Let me probe back in here. One in the black and white. One in the purple. Let me bang on the tank. We should see a change, right? Yep. Boy, too bad it wouldn't stay at some point. Well, I'm gonna call it. Well, it needs a fuel level sensor, or a pump, or whatever method they want to use. I believe this car's only got about 60K on it, so it is relatively low mileage, I would consider it. If I remember correctly, the fuel pumps for these cars are quite expensive to buy the whole pump module. I'll give the customer the choice to see if they want to pull it apart, replace the whole pump, or put a fuel level sensor in it. Cross your fingers, pump it doesn't die a week later. It's not gonna suck, but we'll see. Likely if it was over, you know, 100,000+ miles, I'd just recommend doing the pump. But I think, like I say, in this case, we'll just slap a fuel level sensor in it. If that's what they want to do. Looks like the whole evap canister and stuff is going to come down with the tank. Okay. Fuel filler neck is about midship on the tank. Got the vent canister up there. Oh, should be just lovely, especially if it's full. I wish they had an access panel, but I don't think they do. Alright, so we talked to the husband. He said, do it. But he also said he didn't know how much gas is in it. He thinks she just filled it. So, with that being said, we're going to empty the tank. The pump works. I think the best method is to just unhook the pressure line. We'll pipe it into our gas caddy, turn the pump on. Let her go. So, unhook this little guy. I have a little pressure on it right now. That's a little too. So there's our gas line. Got my rubber hose. I don't think it's going to be big enough. It's not. I'll have to find some kind of adapter. I think I got an idea. I'll be back. Well, there we have it. Just a piece of heater hose that I kick around, one I use for flushing heater cores actually. I just hooked it to our pump inlet of the gas caddy. We can see the bubbles. We can see the bubbles coming. It saves us a whole bunch of cranking. And then I just took and jumpered the fuel pump relay. So that is in the back here, and that's that lower right hand corner, number 37, I put a switched little fuse switch in there, little fuse, or relay jumpers rather. I think they're Lyle. You just put them in. They've got a little toggle on them. You can turn them on and off. And then we'll just, you know, keys off right now. It must be a full-time power to that fuel pump. So keys off. I just got the pump running. We'll wait till, you know, wait till it goes bone dry on us here. And if you haven't seen those relay deals, here they are. So yeah, the relay bypass kit, all they are is just a switch. I mean, you can do it with a fuse jump wire too if you want. You don't even need to have a fuse jump wire really, because it's a fuse circuit. Let's see. Yeah, that's what they look like. So kind of handy for stuff like this. Quick and dirty, baby. So I've got to confess, I put the relay in, I had this all hooked up. I go back there and flick the relay on. Nothing happens. I turn the key on, nothing happens. Yeah, remember the connector back there we didn't plug in. Okay, back underneath. Good thing we took and drained the tank. According to the gas caddy there, I think pumped out about 15 gallons, so I don't know what this tank holds, but that's probably dang near full, I imagine. So we're gonna get these wire connectors unhooked. Looks like this one here is for the ABS, I assume. Ah, man, these stupid gray locks. Okay, with that one undone, we'll undo the other one here that we just had undone. Looks like we need to take this off of the canister here. However that's held in. Hopefully without breaking it. Boy. Alright, got her off. It's your standard double pincher lock tab. And then just the wire loops here. Oh, come on. Oh, wait a minute, that one doesn't need to go. That one's on the frame before we get all hog wild. And then, like I say, the other connector that we've already unhooked. I wonder what the deal is with the duct tape though. That kind of makes you wonder, don't it? I wonder if somebody did some poking there, or maybe seen the bolt in. Preventative maintenance, I'm not sure. But then we've got our fuel lines. This a return system? No. What fuel and evap line must be. So in theory, you can push these little guys down and unhook them. I'm going to need some pliers because my digits don't work. I should say they don't work as good as they used to. So pushing on the black tab. There's one. Sometimes they get dirt and crust and crap up in there. They're a little difficult to remove. Oh man, she's a squirter. Ah, got me. So this is the rear subframe right here in the fuel tank. There is another line right there. That thing is going to be a pain in the neck. It is right above. I don't know if I can give it the classic. No, we cannot pull out the classic move on there. Oh, that sucks. Way to go, GM. So that has some pinch tabs on it. I don't know if I can very gingerly get up here. You can't even see the dang thing. Let me see if it rotates first. Okay, it wiggles on the line, so that's good. It's on a steel line. It's got the two little pinch tabs on either side of it. You just got to pinch it. Hopefully here. Yeah. Well, let me get some different pliers. Let's see if we can get up in there with just a pair of 45 degrees. Probably not. Kind of need to pull back on the hose and pinch it at the same time. Ah, I love General Motors. Friggin' joke. Let's see here. There she goes. Just gotta, good luck doing that one, guys. I'll show you when we take the tank down because otherwise we can't see it. And then we're gonna unscrew the hose clamp on the fuel filler neck or bolts of the tank here. We'll get that undone and get that pried away from the tank. This is a plastic tank, so I'm thankful for that. I don't know if we gotta drop the exhaust down to get this out or not. The exhaust does run right under the corner of the tank. Might have to pull the rubbers off the muffler, just let it hang down a little. We'll see. The tank's empty, so it shouldn't be too big a deal to manipulate this thing around. I know there's some guys there, they're die-hard Chevy guys, but I don't know. We work on a lot of General Motors. I tell you what, just my opinion only, so don't be all pumped up. Big Chevy guy will be saying bad things on our channel. Alright, there you go. She broke free from the tank. I might have to get a bigger bar. The sway bar is right in the way, so you can't, you can't stick your hand up in there. Of course, you can't even see anyways, but sway bar is right smack in front of the fuel filler neck, so we can't reach up there and grab the hose or any of that stuff. I'll see if I can get a bar. We can pry that hose off. Then it looks like we just gotta unbolt it and we'll be good to go. There she is, baby. So that's off. Got some tank strap bolts in the front. I think we'll leave. So up in there, in this area, we've got the, crap, we might have to take them all off because this has got a big guard on it. Well, let's do it. See if we can't get the front one loose. Whoa. That was very loose already. See how this one goes. Still feels like she might have a little bit of gas in there. Yeah, she got a little bit in there. Probably have to get something to stick under the tank. I was hoping it was going to be empty enough. Yeah, we got a stand. We'd probably still take that thing out by hand. I just didn't want to get out a trainee jack, if it's going to be empty. Of course, I got a charcoal canister and stuff on it. It's going to add some weight.
There's the man.
What's up, Maggie?
Whoa, jiggity jag.
Oh, hey, she's sweet, baby.
Then them fries. Oh.
Man, I should have had him stick around and help me take the tank out. Number 3. Hey, Brant. Alright. Well, so far so good. Man, all the tank bolts came out. That's awesome. That's a good day. A good start to a day. Lines. Do we need to unplug? No, we don't. I was wondering if we had to unplug the vent solenoid, but that's part of this big harness. So. Holy crap! Looks like she's gonna stay. We'll stick this over here just in case. See if we can get this whole metal jabroni out of here. Ooh. Probably should go get some assistance. Speaking a little bit. Make sure we didn't forget anything. I don't see anything forgotten. What's holding us up here? Sway bar and the muffler. So we are gonna have to drop them rubbers, I think. I don't want to do any damage. I don't think we can come ahead enough to clear the sway bar. No, sir. We can't, so we'll support it, unhook the muffler back here. Hopefully the flex pipe doesn't break. I hate moving these things because you got the flex joint up front and that could be like on the verge of explosion, and next thing you know, you lower the exhaust down and then that's broke, and you get the old, well, it wasn't loud when it came in story. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, is that the only option, folks? Let's see. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be. I don't want to rip and pry. Well, here's what it is. Let's get the exhaust unhooked. So we'll get the rubber hangers there. Can you see that? Probably not. Probably not. And then there's one on the back of the muffler. I douche them down with a little silicone spray. But if you want to know the truth, what works better is brake cleaner. You hit them babies with brake cleaner, that makes that rubber super slippery, and it'll come right off. Mother! But if you do that on a YouTube video, people eat you alive. Like, you sprayed that with brake cleaner, you're gonna die. So we use silicone spray to make the people happy. Shoot, you know what? We only have one muffler stand. So we're gonna have to come up with something different. I got an idea. What we'll do is we'll use one of these little wire tie deals. We'll let it down. We'll hang it with that. Because we're using our muffler stand to hold up our fuel tank. Currently, there's another one of these rubbers just ahead of the fuel tank there behind the resonator, which I've already removed. Oh yeah, look at that. So that gives us plenty of room. I don't know how much we're gonna need, just a few inches, I suppose. Isn't that what we always need, baby? Let's see. So I'll twist this up good. Look at that. That will hold for us right there. We'll swing it out of the way. Boom. Lots of room to let tank down now. Let's go get a lovely assistant.
And then.
Hey, Sheba.
Okay.
Come here, Sheba. Come here. We'll wait for Mrs. O.
So.
Looks like Mrs. O is gonna be yapping for a while, so we will we'll go solo. See how this goes. We could get a transmission jack. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I'll be honest with you. Been wrong before. Not bad at all. So what we have to do now, so here's the connector we were testing underneath the car. Wiring runs up around to the fuel level sensor. It's not right. The fuel sending unit, I guess it would be, which goes through this connector into the pump and whatnot. What other wiring we got up here? Got wiring for the fuel tank pressure sensor, the fuel level sensor, the fuel pump. This is quite an extravagant pump assembly here. We're gonna crack these hoses loose. So what we're gonna do, we'll take this hose off here, off the canister. Let me get I gotta get a pick or something, get a little screwdriver. There we go. I can push down on this. Hopefully give it a little wiggle. That's off. Got another evap hose over here. There. So, no wonder this pump's so expensive. So we've got this so we can actually take it up out of the hole. What we'll do, yes, we're gonna blow the dirt off, but first we're gonna get the ring moving here. Because that jiggles a bunch of crap loose. Before we pop it up, we'll give it a little toot, get some of the garbage off it. That way we don't get it down in the tank. It doesn't look like we can take the ring off without pulling the pump up, so we'll give it a little toot underneath it. Just to be safe. Safety first. Here's the big reveal. Maybe. What the thunder going on there? So that is not going to fit up through. Let's see. Looks like there's the feed hose from the pump and the bottom of this sending unit. Let me show you. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Hopefully you guys can see this. So what they did, the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This fuel, the feed line here, right? It's gonna be the feed line or the feed or evap. I don't know what the heck it is. Looks like it's part of the evap. They've got it running on the outside of the fuel pump module. So, must be you've got to unhook it, and then you got to fish this stupid thing out of there. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I swear. Some engineers at GM couldn't fix a sandwich. So now we gotta try to fidget that. I'm gonna have to get a pick to give it the classic reach around to get it to unhook. I mean, this is almost like they put the fuel pump together and the guy's like, oh crap, we forgot a hose. And then they had to run around the outside. Let's see if we can do this. Dumbass. Of course, this thing's probably freaking brittle as all get out. So there it's unhooked. This ought to be a real sweetheart to put back together. So now I think what do we gotta do? We gotta like shove that down in the tank, must be. Alright, drop that down in the tank. So technically this should fit out now. So that must be part, well, that is part of the evap system. That line stays in the tank. Awesome. I'll just set it on the ground for right now. So there it is down in the tank. There's our line we had to unhook. It does have a lot of room to come out, but unless, let's take a look here, unless it's supposed to run in this groove, in which case it would slip out and then it goes right up on that nipple there by my thumb. That's what I suspect is probably the way it's supposed to go. I don't know. They probably engineered that in there. I probably just knocked some engineer and he put a groove in there because he knew guys like me would piss and moan about it. We'll check it out on the way in. At any rate, we need to find something clean to set this on. There's our fuel level sensor. Usually they're physically damaged. In my experience, usually the fingers are wore off. Whoa, it just peed on me. Well, the fingers are wore off, and we'll have a look. Let's see if we can see it. And we'll see what we see. All right, so here's our new fuel level sensor. What we'll do is we'll throw our meter on this one. Empty is 250 ohms, according to our meter. And full is 40, survey says 42, 43, somewhere's in there. So it looks like it's probably a 40 to 250 scale would be my guess. 45 to 250, somewheres in that neighborhood. We should be able to look at this on a graph. Oh, that's in mega ohms. That ain't right, folks. Let's see here. Gorgeous. Let me slow this down here. We'll have a little peek at this. Show you guys. So there we are with the tank on empty, and then we'll sweep it up to, get my meter leads holding still here. So that's full, and then back down to empty. Oops, keep moving things around here, there we go. So yeah, we can, you can sweep it up and down here, get this thing to hold still. There we go. Give you some sweeps. So that's how that works, is that cycles from empty to full. Now we can check our old one. Now in the old one here, we can come right, because we don't have it unhooked yet, we can just check right across these two terminals, hopefully. So right now it is open. Make sure our test leads are good. Stick it right across the resistor, and it's open. So here we can move it down to empty, see if it changes. Nothing. It's kind of hard to demonstrate here. Let's see, we're about midway, still open. So there's either open in the printed circuit board, which we can look at, or typically the little brushes that come across them. So you've got these little fingers that run across that variable resistor. Usually those are just wore right down to a nub from what I've seen. So we'll stick this to the side so it doesn't break. They're kind of a delicate unit, and they're pretty expensive for what they are. I think they're 70 or 80 bucks or something like that for the fuel level sensor. Cheaper than the pump. So what we need to do now is remove it. Looks like we've got to de-pin it, so we're going to take and get our electrical connector off the pump here without breaking it. It's always the goal. Alright, so that's unplugged. Like I say, what we need to do is we need to disconnect the two blue terminals there. I don't holds this sending unit on. We've got a ground wire down here on the bottom of the pump. So we're gonna, let me get a pick. I need a pick. Actually, I got a big pick right here. Maybe this will work. I think it's a little too big. That's a little too big, baby. So we'll see if we can't reach behind that. We'll dig that baby out. And then we've got to dig the red thing out of the connector here. So we'll pull that out. And then we need to remove the two blue wires. So I'll hold a little tension on it, reach in there, hit the lock tab. Out comes one. It's all cruddy. Reach in there, hit the lock tab on the other one. Out comes the other one. We're not concerned with which way they go in. We're going to untwist them, fish them around, pull them out of that harness, leave the black wire here attached, remove the lock tab. Whoa, squeaky. Move it down. We'll tear this apart when we're done, but there's our old level sensor. Where's our new one? New one's right here. We're gonna make sure it resembles the same thing. Arms look the same. Looks good enough for the girls I run with. So we'll stick that there. Let's see if we can't get it in the groove. Oh, where are you? Now you gotta squat down and have a little luck. There she goes. Oh! Slipped it right in. So that's in, it's locked, almost. Now it's locked. Has a little lock tab right there that you have to push down on to remove it. I don't know if you saw that or not. So we're going to slip this little ground wire back in here. I just wanted it out of our way at first. So then we've got to run our blue wires back up through. Now originally they were twisted around the harness for whatever reason, probably just to keep them out of the way. I don't think it's super necessary, but we'll give them one little twist, and then we'll stick them back in our connector here. Make sure we've got them going in the right direction. They only click in one way. They'll go in both ways, but they'll only latch one direction. Ready, listen? Click. Did you hear it? You hear the click? So they're in, they're clicked. We'll stick the red lock back in here. We can figure that out. Hopefully we can. Got the red locking device reinstalled. Now we'll click that back in. It's all in. There's our level sensor. In theory, it should work. Let's go to the top of our sending unit. Let's hook up the Vantage and see if it works. It'll be absolutely lovely if it does. I think it was the two middle terminals. Let's see if I can nab on those. Okay, we're at 250 ohms. Sweep it up. 40 ohms, baby. Let me show you. So 250, we're on empty. I'll slowly bring the float up. There she is at the top. Get a little bigger time across our screen here. So there it is on empty. slowly sweep to full. So we've got a good connection, no dropouts or glitches. We're good to go. So that's not too big a deal. Make sure your your pump's clean before you stick it back in. You don't want any big chunks on there. Of course, we got gas on the O-ring, so that's toast. Should junk. Then what I like to do, we'll just go around this ring here. Evaporate some of the fuel that's sitting there. Okay, we've got a new fuel pump ring. We'll stick on there. We'll see how this whole hose, little rigmarole goes. Let's click it up on the pump. Okay, she's clicked in on the pump. We'll be very ginger with this. I'm going to line it in that slot on the front of the fuel module here. Oh, look at that. I did a whole bunch of pissing and moaning for nothing. It slipped right in, baby. Let's make sure our O-ring is in the groove. Kind of feel bad about all the complaining I did. And there is a notch on the sending unit, fuel pump module, that corresponds with the notch in the tank. It's only going to let it go in one way. And I can't seem to manage it. There's the groove. There's only one groove. There's two grooves. My bad. Two notches. Here comes somebody. There it goes. Why the thunder don't you want to go down in the back? Come on, baby. I'm being nice to you. Why don't you want to go in the rear? I don't understand. There's a notch back here. We're lined up with it. O-ring's good. Everything is awesome. It's like one side will go in, but not the other. I knocked my O-ring off. Wish you could take the piping and rings off, but not the case. I wish for a lot of things. That's one groove. Not even like down in. Not even in the hole yet. Oh, there she goes. Now she's just snug. Okay, let me get a light. I want to make sure that our O-ring is sitting exactly where it needs to be. Best I can tell, it is. That's gonna gonna sit right, that's gonna sit right. Knock it on there. Oh, my bandage. That's all there is to it. Get it in, drive it home. We're gonna have to clean out the groove here. Ugh. Get these mixed up, did we? I think so. I think so. That's back in. Now, that indeed is supposed to go underneath that. Indeed. Push that back around. Right? That looks better now. This is all clicked together. Wants to sit there. Red lock back on. Technically, we should be able to go back here now and verify, re-verify, even though we've already verified one time. Let's see, where's our fuel? Fuel line is down there. We'll tip the tank this way. We'll knock some more of this garbage off it and put her back in. That should be good enough. Where is she? That's Zoe. Still on the phone.
yes.
We need you. We're struggling.
What?
Fuel tank, 15 gallons, full. Tank is full.
And you need me.
No, I got it all by myself. Just saying.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. After we emptied it. Probably should start the rest of the gas out. Or get a helper. Or a transmission jack. You know what is that? I got to think. I don't. The evap line being inside that fuel tank. Is that part of the returnless system? I don't know. I guess we'd have to look. I just got thinking about that. I'm gonna throw the skid plate back up there. Get the tank bolted back up in. It's not too big a process. Opposite of how you removed it. We'll throw the exhaust back on, put the lines back up, and see if our fuel gauge works. And we gotta crank the 15 gallons of fuel back in it. Now theoretically our car should still start and run. Get the keys here. Of course our gauge is on empty. Cycle the key a couple times for the fuel pump. Except the battery's dead there, fella. Awesome. Is the hood still pop? Where's the hood popper? Great, dude. Turned on. It's not the original battery. It's got a Napa battery in it. Whoa! Easy. Alright, sweet. It starts and runs. I'll grab the scan tool, get that fired up. Gas gauge is still on E, but of course we know we have about that much fuel in there. We'll get that booted up and look at the data before we go pumping fuel in this thing. Pop these up. Got a heck of a glare here. Oh, we just want to see that in digital format. So it says we've got 8%, 2.5 volts. That's perfect. I'm gonna I've got our fuel keg back here. Let me crank some fuel into this thing. You should be able to see that change as the fuel level increases. I'll pump in a few gallons. If we don't see a change, then she's gonna come back out. Because obviously at that point we did something wrong. There's 1%. I'll do the countdown. All right. Must have done a good job. Usually this is Hannah's job. She's in school. I should save it for her. This takes a while. So I'll get it cranked in. We'll see where it's at. The gauge is starting to come up in the car. It's about a quarter tank or so, or about 22% to be accurate. Alright, now that my right arm is about ready to fall off, the tank is full. However, we need to clear the codes now. This cap doesn't really feel that great. We need to clear the codes, and this vehicle is going to have to go through a drive cycle. One of the problems is going to be that the evap system will now run, and if there's an evap leak, well, you know what that means. The evap system can't work with an inaccurate fuel gauge, so therefore the evap monitor hasn't been run. Maybe what we can do is we can look up the code setting criteria. Of course, we got a bunch of codes because we had the key on with the tank unplugged. So, darn it all. So we'll have to go and just clear these out. Ah, crap, I should have cleared them while I was in there. So I'll get the codes cleared out of it. Make sure nothing comes back. I see we had a mill indicator for the vent solenoid. I'll make sure I didn't accidentally unplug that sucker on the way up in. Hopefully not. Yeah, evap vent solenoid control circuit. Hopefully that's just from having the key on with it unplugged. We'll see. If not, we'll have to check that out, because the circuit code is usually runs all the time. But let's see. And I guess what I was saying is, now that the fuel gauge works, the evap monitor will run. All right, I suppose we could just pop in and see if we hear that vent solenoid turning on and off. just to be certain I didn't hit that connector on the way up in on the sway bar or something. What do we got here? We got anything? That fault history. That's purge. Vent valve status, circuit status. That's pretty good. It gives us a circuit status, so that's good. Like I said, it should be continuously monitored. It is venting. Let's see if we can find fuel tank pressure here. Fuel tank pressure. Now let's just sort these by selected. Let's close it. So it's not venting, I just heard it snap. Purge solenoid's on, it's pulling a vacuum on the tank. That's all we needed to see. Everybody's happy. Sweet. Of course, we come inside now. The fuel gauge is on full. The indicator light is out. Should have been running enough now to start on its own. Happy days, baby. And that, folks, is that. And this is me at home on my cheap little webcam because somehow I forgot to conclude on that video and give you my closing thoughts and feelings. So here they are. I could have put up a little black screen and typed it all out, but I'm not much of a typer. So I figured this would be easier and you guys would be more grateful. And I would be more grateful if you click the subscribe button, so make sure you do that if you want to stay up to date with all of our sweet videos, and click the little bell on the subscription thing. I'm supposed to tell you that because something to do with the notifications. Whatever, dude. We're always here. If you don't subscribe, be sure to at least check back. We roll out videos each and every week as time allows. You can also check us out on Google+, Facebook, if you haven't done that yet. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.